Hey, Vincent here. Welcome to another CAD tutorial. Today we'll be modeling two tall Tobies 240116, the transport hanger. And like always, we'll take a look at the diagram and decide on a plan before we get started. So let's jump into the diagram. So looking at the drawing, basically there is two profiles that we're going to be working with. We're going to be working with a side profile, and then we're going to be working with a front profile. So to start things off, how I did this model is I worked on the side profile and I modeled out this cylindrical shape. Afterwards, I would extrude it and then switch to the front profile to model out this bottom piece over here. Next, I would then model out this cylinder piece with the hole. Then I would do the fin. Afterwards, I would model out this chin from the front. So like over here, this chin over here. Then I would do the top, and then the hole through the top, and then similarly a hole through this piece over here. And that's pretty much the approach that I took to model this piece. One thing to note, however, it's pretty important to figure out what the origin will be. And so for this model, I used this circle over here, this point over here, as the point of origin, because if you can see from the drawing, there's a lot of things that are relative to this origin. So here you can see that there's a 60 millimeter offset is relative to that origin, and then there's also this 155 millimeter offset that's also relative to the origin. So yeah, without further ado, let's get started in the software. Hey, so before we get started, what I'm going to do in Plasticity is something different. What I would normally do when I first started learning Plasticity is that whenever I would model the solid, I would keep the curves or preserve the curves in case I ever needed it to rebuild the solid, or if I needed to reference existing curves to build some additional geometry. Now, one of the things I noticed from watching a few recent videos from a way more advanced user of Plasticity who also does these CAD modeling, he goes by the name of Phosphor on YouTube. And I noticed that when he's modeling, he would go, every time he's done with a certain section, he would go and delete those curves, which got me wondering, like, why is he deleting the curves? How do we actually build a new geometry from existing geometry if those curves are deleted? Well, what I found out from kind of slowing down his video, because he just blazes through the models, is that he uses a command called alternative duplicate, I believe that's what it's called. And essentially, it's a very cool command that kind of generates curves from the profile of the model that you're looking at, or sorry, from the perspective of the model you're looking at. It'll generate the curves, the outline of the model. So with that in mind, I'll be deleting the curves as I go along and using that new command, just like what Phosphor does. But let's just jump right into the application. Okay. So the first thing we want to do is, as with everything, we want to make sure that the units of measurement is correct. So I'm on my Windows PC right now. For me to open up the menu, the settings menu, it's Control and comma. But on a Mac, it would be Command, comma. Here under grids and units, it's already set to millimeters for me. So we're going to get started with that now. So in the new scene, by default, they'll have this cube created. I'm just going to select this cube, press X to delete it. And just like as per the plan, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to switch over to the side perspective to begin modeling. So I'm going to switch over to the right side, and then I'm going to use the center circle tool, and I'm going to click right on the origin, drag outwards, press tab, and then enter 95 as the diameter. Now notice that the circle is really small right now. I can press on the / to kind of zoom everything into perspective. I'll now use the center circle tool again, and right on the origin, I'll click, drag outwards, and this will be the 50, press tab, and then enter in 55 to represent the 55 millimeter diameter through hole, and press enter twice to confirm. Now I can rotate around. Going up over here, I can now use the face selection tool. For me, the shortcut is 3, but you can also press the button up here. Select this out of this face over here. I'm going to press D for distance, and then now I'm going to enter 53, but then as the width, but then I'm going to divide that by 2 so that when I press tab, now it extrudes in both directions and keeps everything centered along the origin. And then press enter twice to confirm. Now now what I'm going to do is I'm going to select all the curves. Now there is a keyboard shortcut for this. If you press F to open up the menu and then search for select all, there is a select all curves that you can assign a hotkey to. I've assigned it as Control A, but this is where you search it up. So here I'm going to use Control A to select all my curves and then press X to delete. Now to model now I'm going to go down to the front profile to model this. I guess I'm just going to call it tail. So I'm going to switch to the front profile, and here's where I'm going to use the command that I was talking about. So with this solid highlighted, if I press F to open up the menu, the first command is what we want. It's called alternative duplicate. Now if I press it, notice that it generates this curve 5 on the side. And what this tool does is it to me, I guess I view it as it is kind of like the projection command in other CAD tools like Libre. Here it's just saying, given this solid that we're seeing, when we want to run the alternative duplicate command on it, it will create curves that follow that profile. So if we rotate the camera around, notice that it created this rectangular curve for this cylinder shape, and that is what we want. So we're gonna hide the solid for now, so I can get access to the origin. But what I'm gonna do now is to create another, using the center circle tool. I'm gonna create another circle to represent the circle for that tail, and we're gonna click right on the origin because we know that from the origin there is a 155 millimeter offset downwards to get the circle into position. So I'm gonna start from the origin and then move the curve into position. So here it says the radius of this circle is 37.5. So we're going to enter 37.5, but we're going to multiply that by 2 to get our diameter, and then press enter twice to confirm. Now I'm going to press G to activate the move tool, and I'm going to press Z to make sure that any measurements were locked in on the x-axis, and I'm going to enter 155. But notice that it moved the circle upwards, whereas what I really want is to move it downwards. So in order to fix that, all I need to do is press the minus key or the hyphen key, and that will make it minus 55. And I can press enter twice to confirm. Okay, so great. Now I need to create those 2 tangent lines that come out of this that sticks out from the circle. And if I take one line and then I mirror it onto the other, I would get the other side. But also keeping in mind that there is a 16-degree angle between the 2 lines. So that is what we'll go and do right now. So using the line tool over the side, so Shift A is the command, or I can just click over here. I'm gonna create a line, and I'm not gonna worry too much about the length right now. I'm just gonna press Tab and then Tab again to get over to switch over to defining the angle. Now again, it's 16 degrees between the 2 lines, which means that if we want to make it relative to the center of the circle, then it's really 8 degrees, right? So or 16 divided by 2. So here I'm going to enter, if 90 degrees is vertical, I'm just going to subtract 8 degrees, and I'm going to drag my mouse so it knows which side to make the degree relative to. So it's 90 minus 8 is what I want. I'm going to left click and then right click to confirm. Now I'm going to use, with this line selected, I'm going to press G again to activate the move tool, and then press F for freestyle. And I'm going to stick the anchor or the pivot right at the end of this curve. And then now I'm going to drag it and place it on top of the circle. And I'm going to move it around until I see the tooltip say tangent. So here, now it says tangent. That means that this line is tangent to the circle and at this 8-degree slope. So now I can left click and then right click to confirm. Now the next thing is that if we look at the drawing, notice that it kind of goes along on the slope, and then if you can imagine, there's a line that's going to be a vertical line coming from the top of the solid that we created previously that comes down, and then this sloped line will intersect it. So it'll intersect it and then go straight upwards, if that makes any sense. So basically, we need to continue this line onward until there's a certain point where it intersects with a line that runs vertically from the, I guess, the front of this face or the left side of this face or solid. But just follow along if that doesn't make any sense. But first of all, we need to draw a line that we need to intersect with that runs vertically. So using the line tool again, I'm going to click on this this corner over here, making sure that the degree is 90. And then the length of it doesn't really matter right now. I'm just going to left click and then right click to confirm. Now switching over to the point selection mode, you can, or the hotkey for me is 1, or you can click on this first button on the top left. I select this point over here. I'm going to press G for move, and then press F for freestyle, and I want the anchor to be on this end of this curve. And notice how if I just move it around, it by default it snaps to, it allows me to move the point such that we still maintain that that angle, that 82-degree angle. And that is actually what I want. But what I also need is for it to intersect with this line. So it needs to be moving. I need to move this point to maintain this 82-degree angle, but it will also need to eventually intersect with this line that's running vertically. And how I do that is that if I just put my mouse over this point that this line that I want to intersect with, I then press the shift button. It'll projecting these pink lines for me to snap to. So all I need to do is now just maintain this angle and then snap to this pink line. And here it says the tooltip that says that it provides this intersection, and that is what I want. So I'm just going to left click and then right click to confirm. So now I know that if I just simply move the point from the line above to match the point that I just moved, that will be perfect. It's a perfect match along this vertical line. So with the point selection tool, I'm just going to select that again. So select this point that I want to move. I'm going to press G and press freestyle, click on that point, and then just move it so it snaps to this other point, and right click to confirm. Now switching to edge selection mode, I can select these two curves and then press J to join them. And then now I'm going to press Alt X, or you can press this button down here to mirror this curve onto the other side. So mirror, and we know that if we zoom out, this red line is the X-axis, so we want it on the X-axis on the other side. So I'm going to press X, and then I'm just going to right click to confirm. And now we have these faces that we can extrude. So I'm going to unhide the solid now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my shortcut Control A, which is what I've assigned to select all my curves. And here I'm going to offset it to the position that I want before extruding. And from the drawing, it says that it is, it's offset 25 millimeters backwards. So that's what I'm going to do now. So I press the G to activate the move command. And then I want to move in the Y direction. So I press Y, and then I'm going to press the minus since we're moving backwards. So it's negative. And then I'm going to enter 25. And that moves the curves into the correct spot. Now activating the face selection tool, I'm going to select these two faces. I'm going to press it automatically opens up the extrude menu. I'm going to press D for distance, and then I'm going to enter 15. Now right now it's extruding in the wrong direction. So once again, I just press the minus key or the hyphen key, and that'll switch it into the other direction, and then press enter twice to confirm. Now notice that these two solids are disjoint. So still with the face selection tool, I'm going to select this face over here. I'm going to go down here and press the match face button, and then select the cylinder to match up to, and then right click twice to confirm. Now I can just press A to select all of my solids or select everything. I'm press Q to activate the Boolean tool, and then Q again to union, and then right click to confirm, and now I have a single solid. So here, just to clean things up, I'm going to press Control A to select all my curves and then just delete them. Moving on, from this tail, we're going to create that cylinder that sticks out, and then we're going to create a hole that punches through everything. So here I'm going to activate the center circle tool again, and click right on the center over here. And notice how right now it's kind of not in the orientation that I want, but on the bottom right corner, it shows that there's a command or the hotkey to switch things between vertical and horizontal, and that key is V. So I'm going to press V once, and it switches to the correct orientation that I want. Now looking at the drawing, it says that the diameter of the circle is 40, so I'm going to press Tab and then enter in 40, and then press enter twice to confirm. With the face selection mode, in face selection mode, I'm going to select this face. It opens up the extrude menu. I press D, and then I'm going to enter in 18. And notice that it's extruding in the wrong direction, so I'm going to press the minus key to get it into the right direction. I'm going to press enter twice to confirm. I'm gonna press A to select everything, Q, and then Q again, and right click to make it to union everything. Now along this face, I'm gonna use the center circle tool again. I'm gonna click over here, press tab, and then enter 25 millimeters to represent the 25 millimeter diameter through hole, and then press enter twice to confirm. So this curve is selected right now. I'm gonna press the C command and that will open, or press C and it'll open up the cut menu. And here I just need to select this solid that we have, and what it'll do is it'll make a cut through everything, and right click to confirm. Notice that after the cut, it automatically selects the solid that it's cut. I can just press X to delete that, and now I have my through hole. I'm gonna press Control A to select all the curves and then delete them. Now we're gonna move on to modeling that fin on the back. In order to do that, we need to switch back to our right profile. So I'm gonna switch to the right profile, and here it really shows the power of that what is it called? The alternative duplicate command. And so with the solid selected, first I'm gonna click on the solid on the left menu, and then I'm gonna press, for me, I think the hotkey is Option D, but you can again also use the F, press F to and click on the alt and find the alternative duplicate command yourself. But Option D, and what happens is that once I run that command, it generates two curves for me. Now I'm gonna press Shift H. So with the two curves selected, the hotkey for me, Shift H hides everything that's unselected. So in this case, it would hide the solid. So if I press Shift H, the solid is hidden, and notice that we're left with the curves. But here you can see that this is very similar to the projection command in other CAD tools. So yeah, very powerful tool. So now we need to make that fin. And looking at the drawing, we can see that there's really two things. Number one, when we draw this arc needs to be tangent to this circle. And number two, if we look at the bottom, it gives us a dimension of 33 millimeters from, let's just say this bottom. I'm just going to call it a leg, or peg, or leg. Yeah. So there's a 33 millimeter distance from the bottom of this leg to this, to a line that doesn't exist. So we're going to call it a reference line that is also tangent to the arc that we're going to recreate. So that's what we're going to need to do. We're going to need to get these two things in place first before we create this arc. So we already have this circle that we need to reference. So we just need to make that 33 millimeter offset tangent line. So in order to do that, I'm going to use the line tool. I'm going to click on the bottom left of this leg, drag it upwards to make sure it's at 90 degrees, left click, and then right click to confirm. I'm going to press G. I'm going to activate the move tool. We're moving in the Y direction, so I'm going to press Y, and then I'm going to enter -33, and then enter twice to confirm. Now that we have our two curves to reference, I'm going to move over to the menu over here, and here, by default, there's the center circle tool, but if I left click on that, it gives us a bunch more options, and the one that we're going to need is this tangent circle option, which I have set a hotkey for as a Control-Alt-Shift-C, but you can set it to whatever you want, or you can just select it from this menu. So with the tangent circle, notice how it gives us two options. It says we need to select the first curve segment and then the second curve segment, and then we also need to define a radius, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We already said that it needs to be tangent to the existing circle over here. So for the first curve segment, we're just gonna click on this circle. For the second curve segment, we're gonna click on this line, this reference line that we just created, and then we can press tab and then enter 100 for the radius as per the drawing. And then if we press tab again and then just hover over this field, notice that it creates the circle for us. So we just need to left click to confirm. So I'm just going to go ahead and just start trimming away some of the stuff we don't need. This circle is exactly what we want, but we don't need this piece over here. So I'm going to press T to activate the trim tool and just remove this part of the circle. Now, one more thing is that we also need a line that comes off of this curve, and it needs to be tangent to this curve, but it also needs to be 12 degrees. There needs to be a 12-degree angle from vertical. So we're just going to do that now. So again, off to the side, I'm just going to activate the line tool. The length doesn't really matter. I'm just press tab and tab to activate the angle. We know that 90 degrees is vertical. I'm going to add 12 degrees to that, and that'll give us the angle that we want. We're going to left click and then right click to confirm. I'm going to press G to activate the move tool, F for freestyle, select the end of the curve that needs to be tangent to the circle, and drag it over to this arc. And then now that tangent tooltip has popped up, I know that's in the correct spot. I'm gonna left click and then right click to confirm. Now, last thing I need to do is this is the face that I want to extrude. I can just select these two and then extrude, or I can just trim away and then just select this entire face. I'm going to press the T tool to trim away this extra bit that I don't need. And that's pretty much it. So we have this face now. In the face selection tool, I can now select this face. And for I'm going to press D for distance. And the width of this fin is 10 millimeters. But since I want it extruded in both ways, I'm going to enter in 5 and then press tab. So then it gives me a total of 10, but extruded from both sides while centered, while keeping everything centered. And then press enter twice to confirm. Now, if I unhide the other solid, it's looking pretty good. But one thing to note is that from the 2D profile is if we zoom in really close and then just rotate the camera a little bit. So let me see if I can get this into perspective. If we rotate the camera, yeah. Notice that it's actually not flush with this cylinder piece. So in order to make it flush, we just need to, with the face selection tool, I'm going to select this face and then use our favorite command, match face, and then we match it with a cylinder, and then right click twice to confirm, and now it's fully flushed. So I'm press A to select everything, Q, and then Q again to Boolean everything together. And I'm press Control A to select all the curves and then delete them. Next, we're gonna model in this chin that's right underneath this cylinder. And in order to do that, the main thing that's given to us is that relative to the bottom or this circle over here, we can draw another circle curve with the radius of 100, and that defines like the arc that's cut out that we need. So let's just do that now. So I'm going to use the center circle tool. I'm going to select in this center. And again, I need to press V to flip it to the correct orientation. But I need to make sure that if we rotate this around, we need to make sure that this runs along the x-axis. So I need to make sure that the mouse snaps along the x-axis, which is what it's doing now, and which is what we want. So I'm going to press Tab now and then enter in. Well, the radius is 100, so we know that the diameter must be 200. So I'm going to enter in 200. Press Enter twice to confirm. So this is how it's looking. But really, all we need is this little arc up above to define a face that then we can then extrude. So in order to do that, we're going to use a new command, the imprint command. So with this curve selected, I'm going to press F, search for imprint. Oops, my keyboard is on the wrong language. Imprint. There we go. For me, I have it hotkeyed as Shift-1, but you can always search for these commands. We're going to select imprint, and then we'll select the solid that we have. And notice that you can't really see it right now, but it added these new edges. But if I just right-click to confirm, and then I go and delete this curve, notice that it took that arc from the circle and kind of like it didn't cut our model, but it added these new edges along our model all the way through. Really, I just needed this edge on this front of this face, but it added it throughout the entire model. But we'll get rid of those, the stuff that we don't need later in a little bit. So with this new face, we can now switch to the face selection tool. I'm going to select this face. Offset face is what we want. I'm going to press D for distance. And the distance we want is 25 to get it back to the origin, plus 15 to get it to exactly where we want. And the total of that would be 40. So I'm just going to enter 40 and then press enter twice to confirm. So like I said, the imprint, all I needed was that front edge, but it gave me this additional edges here. So the command I'm going to run now is called, if I search redundant, there's this command called delete redundant topology. And I guess my understanding is that like it basically simplifies your layout. So in this example, like this face over here and this face over here, they're basically on the same plane. So they could, if I could just get rid of this edge over here, they could just be one face instead of two different faces. And again, this was added when we imprinted the circle. So we're just going in and removing these redundant edges now. So with the solid selected, I'm going to use search for delete redundant topology. I'm going to click on it, and it goes and removes those extra edges that we don't need. Okay, so the last thing, so there's two more things we need to do. We need to create that top kind of extrusion, create the two holes, and then add fillets, and that will be the end of our model. So for now, I'm going to hide the model, and I'm going to switch to the top view. So for me, that's Control-2. So from the top view, I'm going to use the center circle tool again, click on the origin, drag outwards, press tab, and then enter in 35 for the diameter, and then press enter twice to confirm. And then from the drawing, it says that there's that from the origin, we just need to move this up 60 millimeters. So I'm going to press G and then press Z to lock it into the Z axis, enter in 60, press enter twice, and now it's in the correct spot. I'm going to activate the solid again, and here we just need to do an extrusion down towards this face. Now, there's kind of two ways of doing it, but one of these ways I found seems to produce a better, like a more accurate volume. So one way of doing it would simply just be using the face selection tool, select this face, and then just drag it down until it fully intersects with the solid. I found this to be less accurate for some reason when at the end when we need to look at the volume. So what I tend to do is I just extrude like a tiny little piece, right click to confirm, and then I select this new face, and then I use our favorite match face command. And that seems to give me a better measurement. I'm not sure if it's a bug or not, but if I match the face, it seems to give me a more accurate volume at the end. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to match this face, and then right click twice to confirm. Now off the top over here, I'm going to use the center circle tool again, drag outwards, press tab, and then enter in 15 for that 15 millimeter hole. Before I do any cutting, I'm going to select all of my solids. I'm going to press Q and then Q again, and then right click to Boolean everything together. So now with this circle that we just created, this to represent this 15 millimeter hole, I am going to now press E to enter extrusion. Or actually, sorry, I need to select this face first, and then the extrusion, this extrusion menu pops up. I'm just now going to drag downwards until it's through everything. But then I'm going to press W as the shortcut for difference, and then select our body. And now it makes it a cut operation instead. And I'm going to right click to confirm. All right, now zooming in so I can get precise access to the origin, we just need to make that 25 millimeter cut now. So I'm going to use the center circle tool, make sure it's on the origin. I'm going to left click it, drag outwards, press tab, enter in 25, press enter twice to confirm. Select this face, and then now I'm just going to drag it downwards to cut through the bottom. And then again, I'm going to press W for difference, and then click on their body to make it a cut operation, and right click to confirm. So pretty close now. All we need to now do is add these fillets. So I'm going to switch to edge selection mode. I'm going to select this edge over here. I'm going to press D for distance, and then I'm going to enter in, what is the fillet? 8. The radius is 8. So I'm going to press 8 and then enter twice to confirm. And then here on this this little chin, I'm going to select these two edges, press D, enter in 10 for the radius. Oops, 10 for the radius. Press enter twice to confirm that. I'm going to select this edge over here by the tail or this fin. So pressing Shift to allow me to select more than one edge. Press D and then enter in, what is it? 17. So 17. Press enter twice to confirm. Enter twice to confirm. There we go. And then lastly, this edge over here and this edge over here. I'm going to press D for distance, and it says there's a radius of 100. So I'm going to enter that in now. Press enter twice to confirm. And that is pretty much our part. So now on the bottom right over here, it says that with the solid, it says that the volume of our part is 400. So I'm going to actually pull up the calculator. The volume of our part is 450,758.05 millimeters cubed. And then from Tool-Toby, the density is 2,700 kilograms per meters cubed. So I'm going to multiply everything by 0.0027 to get our mass, which gives us 1,217.04 grams as our mass. And if we go to the video and go to the solution, 1,217, 1,217, and that is the part. Now, if you need help with unit conversion, I created a video, my first video in Plasticity. I run through everything because that was when I was first learning. I even walked through the basics of unit conversions on the iPad. So if you need help with that, check out that video. But yeah, this is our part. Thank you for watching. Bye now.